Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of My Fiber Fun. Okay, I am back from Michael's, but before we get to all that, let's do the preliminaries. I'm going to give you a tour of the greenhouse. I am so happy with my plants. I put the compost tea, also known as what I call compost pea, on the plants on Saturday, and when I say that they have taken off, I listened to a gardener named M.I. Gardener. He's here in Michigan, and he gave the recipe for it, and I had started compost like 3 years ago in a big giant 60-gallon garbage can. The first year I worked it like a Hebrew slave, and then the next year I didn't do anything to it. This was last year. I did throw a few scraps in there, but I didn't mix it. I didn't put water in it. I just let the rain do everything. Didn't even bother with it all last summer. This year I started it back. I actually kind of started it back in the winter before the snow got too high. That compost, those food scraps and whatnot have broken down, and it's a beautiful, rich compost. So I put a few scoops in a bucket, mixed it with some water. Why is water leaking in here? I have a hole. Okay, it must have rained. Anyway, I'll get that. It's windy today, but it's 90 degrees here in the greenhouse, but the wind is cooling it off. So it feels pretty good, because you know heat and MS does not get along. Let me get on track here. Okay, but anyway, yeah, I made up the compost tea, gave my plants a drink, was scared because I said, well, in my gardener, I hope this compost is made up right, because his was. And he said, if you do that periodically, he said, your plants will take off because they get the microbes, the nutrients. I believed him, but then I didn't. Let me tell you, I discovered tomatoes over the since that. My peppers, I found a pepper bloom. Everything just kind of took off, got more lush. So yeah, I just got to let y'all see it. Okay, so let's look at everything. So here are the potatoes I have right here. Oops. And then I stuck an eggplant in my sunflowers. These are dwarf sunflowers. They've doubled in size just since Saturday. Okay, we're gonna make this quick. Then we have an eggplant I just planted on Saturday, 2 shallots, and then I have a ground cherry that I had started. It's a perennial red ground cherry, and I put it back in the cup because it wasn't doing well, but it even has 2 new leaves. And then my tomato plants are doing good. As you can see, there's some blooms. And then back here, there's a tomato that's getting bigger. And then up here, I've discovered a tomato. And that's after, I can't find it now, but it's here. It's on this plant right here. Okay, where are you, Mr. Tomato? Don't embarrass me in front of company. Oh, here he is, I think. Nope, that's not him. Okay, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. And then we have a tomato down there. But anyway, look at the peppers, you guys. And these were my bad peppers. Now, granted, I put some new pepper plants in there, but even the ones I started, where you see the tags, they have done well. They're starting to take off. Ooh, and I cannot wait. I want to try the candy cane pepper. I only have one that's still kind of down low, but the rest of them are doing good over here too. And then I threw these onion shoots in there to repel the fungus gnats. Those of you who garden know what fungus gnats are, because a lady from the Micah 6 Grow Club gave me those shallots. I think I told y'all about that. My sweet peppers are doing good, and I planted another pepper down here. Oh, I put it in with the mustard seed, and oh, my mustard seed has even taken off. With the mustard seed, and then it's 2 peppers actually, and chives. Squash starting to flower up. I've got ground cherries coming. There's one right there. My cucumber, this is a non-pollinated cucumber. It's parthenogenic, so it doesn't need pollination. It produces all female flowers that produce cucumbers. So it's doing well. My green beans that I planted, 1, 2, 3, and then I have green beans. Look at look at that, y'all. And they're getting ready to produce. They're starting to flower. That's just from the compost tea alone, okay? And my other potatoes, they're growing good. My strawberries, I actually have 2 strawberries here. Well, they had bloomed, so they'll come in. But there's 2. And then my okra even took off, and my dead okra came back. So those 3 that were looking bad, look at the leaves, y'all. And that's not the jambalaya, those are white okra. But I'm just happy that they came back. Pigeon peas looking good, that's my French tarragon. And lastly, my greens, they're looking good. Okay, and here's my bag of tulle, and then y'all seen the garbage can, and y'all know what I'm gonna do with that. Excuse the wind chimes, y'all. My basil's looking good. My mojito mint, look at that, y'all. Look at the leaves. I've harvested this one twice, and it's just getting more bigger. Another French tarragon, my black pepper, and then another mojito mint over here. Everything. I'm just so pleased with everything. Now let me sit my MS Riddle butt down. And now on to Michael's. Ta-da! I know it's upside down for you guys, but isn't it cute? Ain't that me, y'all? That is so me. And wait, Dawn, once again, I thank you. Simply because I was gonna try to buy another one today. I was like, 2 wouldn't hurt. I can put one at the back entrance, and then I'll have it, 2 of them. But I got there and they didn't have any today, so they sold. So I'm glad I ordered that online. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten my happy face rug. I would have been devastated. So thank you, Dawn. You saved me from a bout of depression, okay? Because I would have been devastated, or I would have had to drive to Rochester to the Michael's there, 15 miles away, in order to get one. Or just order it online, but I would have had to pay shipping. But anyway, the thing was 60% off. It was $24 on Friday, and I almost bought it then. I felt it was well worth it for my beloved happy face. And I was like, nah, I'll wait, because later this summer, they'll probably put the summer items on clearance, blah, blah, blah. Little did I know that 2 days later, that thing would go on sale. Actually, on the thing, it said 50%. Well, it had $9.99, but I don't know if it adds up to 60% off in other stores. But in my particular store, since it was $24, $9.99 and $9.99 would be $20. Or yeah, you may as well say $20. I paid $10.59 with taxes for that rug. So basically, I saved I saved another $4. So my assumption is that it's 60% off. So my hippie corner is not complete yet, because a lady at my local Pelly store that I love, she just started selling hippie rocks. So she's done the flower power, all kind of hippie sayings like groovy. Can you dig it? And what's another hippie term? Y'all tell me, what's a good hippie term? I know stick it to the man is one. I can't, wait a minute. Fire out, that's another one, fire out. Remember that? So anyway, I can't think of all the rest, but my hippie corner is building up nicely. And I may just go on and order another one offline and just pick it up at Michael's. But if it had been one in the store itself, I would have just gotten it today. So I think I'm going to do that later. I'm going to wait till my bills clear, because I just paid them. And I already know what my budget is after that happens. But I don't like to spend anything other than emergencies, which was today, unless my bills have cleared. So they're starting to clear. So by Wednesday, they'll be clear. So I'll order one, put it in the basket or something like that. I might just go on and pay for it and then just pick it up later this week or whatever. Because I do want one at the back door to match this. But look at it. One last look. The happy face is upside down. I just love it. Okay, now to the Michael's haul. First of all, I finished my bags. So here's the green one. And I decided to take the bags to Michael, or I took one of them in. I took the green one, the lime green one in. And so I decided to use it. Oh, she and the other customers behind me ranted and raved about the bags, and they liked the watermelon bag too. And so I told them the watermelon one is my favorite. I was like, but I'm just trying these out because I just lined them over the weekend, and so they just loved it. So she put my items, or my item, in the bag. I only bought one thing. And guess what, y'all? I could not use my coupon because this item was on sale 10% off. Remember the other day, the Granny Square, and here they are, the Granny Square deck cards, which is what I purchased today. That was my only purchase, y'all. So I stayed right on track, like I said. But anyway, the other day, these were $25. Let me see. Let me look on the back to make sure. Yep. And so today, they were $20 or $19. They were actually $19.99. And so, but I couldn't use the coupon anyway, she said, because I had used it on Friday. So it wasn't going to scan anyway, but I could not use it. And I totally forgot about my senior discount. So, and I have to find out what age you have to be. I'm 60, so they may say 65. Some places say 60, some say 65. I'll find out the next time I go. But anyway, I had a $5 reward from who knows when. I had no idea I had that reward. And then I was $1.61 away from another reward. So I have a reward waiting now. I didn't use the other one. I don't think I could have because I just earned it. But the $5 one that was in my bank, I used it. So I ended up paying, first of all, this is my order from the Happy Face. And as you can see, $9.99 for that. That was the total. Oops. Make sure my address isn't on here. I forgot about that. Nope, just the order number. Okay. Alrighty. While I'm throwing that up at you. But anyway, that's for the Happy Face. And then here's my receipt for today. And my total, hold on, back to the glasses. Hate having to put these glasses. My order, the taxes was 6%, 98 cents. I paid a total of $15.85. Oops, $15.85, you guys, for the granny thing. So, like I said, Stein had them for $12 and something, and that didn't include shipping. And I'm not familiar with Stein. I've heard the name 1 or 2 times tossed around, but I didn't want to fool with nothing new. And so, for $3 more, I got them right there at Michael's. So I'm very happy to have my granny squares, and I can't open it because I need some scissors to open them. But yay, I got them. So anyway, so that's that. Another thing too, as you all know, I inherited the table. So today I started calling appraisal companies, and of course, I guess they don't just come in. They want to set appointments or whatever. Whoever appraises the table is going to need to come to my house because the thing weighs 2 million pounds, okay? So anyway, I called around, left messages and whatnot. But then I thought about it the other day. I said, that was so nice of my cousin to do that for me, because I saw one online and it was black. Remember I said all the tables of that, the black, they were called black lacquer oval mother of pearl coffee sets. That's the name of it. I haven't seen any green ones. And so my cousin had said, well, perhaps he had that one specially done. You know, he may have had it custom painted or whatever, because he actually had it shipped back when he came back from the armed forces. And I don't know, I think he should, if I'm not mistaken, I think he served in the Navy. I'm not sure, but he was there in China way back when. Anyway, mine is hunter green. You all have seen the table. So I've been calling around today, you know, so I can see if I can get an appraisal. I know Du Michel's, which is downtown Detroit, they will come to your home, but I think they do free appraisals. But if they come to your home, I think there's a charge. So I'm not sure about that. I haven't called them yet. I'm just calling the ones in my area. There's one a few miles away from me, and there's another one in Bloomfield Hills. So I called and left them messages. So that's where I began. And hopefully I can get someone to come to my home to appraise the table so I can at least know how much it may be worth. I just don't know. I know it's something special, but I just don't know. In the meantime, I saw where one that's done in the black oval shape, you know, the black lacquer, it sold. I saw where it sold for $8,800. I was like, ooh. So anyway, that's what made me decide, okay, I better just go on, and even if I have to pay to have it appraised for insurance purposes, if nothing else. But I thought that was so nice of my cousin to do that, as well as the, you know, the items from my grandmother, my late aunt, all that, because she could have offered this stuff to anyone, although she knew that no one else really appreciates antiques except there's one cousin. She's our second cousin. We found out that her home is decorated in antiques, and she lives in the historical area of our city. And so she just decided to go with antiques in her home, and they're beautiful. In fact, I gave her a set of French provincial end tables that I had that I could actually do nothing else with. I didn't have room for them, and I told her, come get them. They will look very nice in your home. And she has a huge home, you know, 3 levels and all this stuff. And it's a historical home full of charm and character. I think it's not Craftsman and it's not Victorian, it's something else, but it's beautiful. Her home is absolutely beautiful. But anyway, so I gave her those tables. So my cousin could have easily offered her this table and it would have looked stunning. In fact, it would have looked better in her home than mine, because this table, as you all see, is made for a grand home, and her home is a grand home. Mine isn't. But guess what? She thought of me. So it's mine. So now my cousin, who likes antiques, she's the one who's in mind for bequeathing that table to. But in the meantime, because my cousin was so nice and everything, and then arranged for, you know, it to be brought to me and everything else, everything came, you know, solidly, no problems whatsoever. I said, I have to give my cousin something nice. Now, in the past, I made her a shawl. She is my 3rd oldest living first cousin. So she's in her 70s. I believe she just turned 74. So she's 3 in line of my first cousins, and they go all the way down. You know, my cousin started in 48 and went all the way down, or all the way up to 1972. So, and then second cousin started in before the last of the first cousins. So I had some aunts who had children after their nieces, you know, and nephews and whatnot, who were grown and married at the time that they began to start their families in the late 60s, early 70s. So we just have a big family. My father came from a family of 12 children. 2 were deceased, so it would have been 14. Had 2 not been born, deceased. So it was a lot of them, and mostly girls, okay? But anyway, I said, although I've made my cousin a shawl before, I said, I've got to make her something else nice. And so I decided to make her an afghan, and I decided to use, I said I would go on and use my Bernat Remix Chunky to make her afghan. I wanted it to be with some nice yarn. And you know, I got most of this off of this and remember, I saved the money because I had bought this. It was on sale, but I had bought it, but then the next day they took it an extra 50% off, and I was hurt. And then they gave me that gift card. So I bought some more with the gift card, 5 more balls of it, because I was going to make a chunky cardigan, which I do not want to make because it's out of the box for me. And so I just need an excuse to not make it. So this is the excuse, my cousin's afghan. So I'm gonna make the afghan, and the stitch I am using is called the single crochet, textured single crochet. So all you do is you just do 2 single crochets, skip a stitch, 2 single crochets, no chains in between, and it comes out in this textured pattern. And when I saw it on YouTube, just pull up textured single crochet, and Stitch a Day that's the video I use, which is 12 years old, and you will have the tutorial to this. And I think it's beautiful, and I think that my cousin will love it because I know that she has a special recliner that she uses. So, and I was going to make it like a lap blanket, but I was like, no, I'm just going to make the full thing because I know it's enough. So I chained 180, and that'll be enough to cover her, and it should be long enough, just a blanket. And so, and I don't like holes in the middle of blankets because I started to do the granny stitch, but I was like, no, I'm gonna do this one. And then the other one I was going to do was the Suzette stitch. I started it with the Suzette stitch, and I saw it was a yarn eater. I was like, oh no. I was like, I might not have enough to finish it with the Suzette stitch. So I went on this. I know I'll have enough to finish. It's going to take a while for it to build up, but when I finish it, then I will take it to her and present it to her as a surprise. She does not know that I'm making this Afghan for her, so I think she will be thrilled to receive it. So let me put everything back into the bag, and then let's discuss Joanns for a minute, and then I'm gonna get off of here because I know y'all tired of seeing my homemade face, as I say. Okay, so this new Joanns thing, a lot of people are saying that they think that someone bought the domain and they decided to be cruel. We just don't know. I think they did it professionally if they are being cruel. So if that's the case, we'll find out soon because nothing will come of this news. If it is Joann, the entity or the powers that be or whatever, whoever purchased it, the liquidators or whatever, then we'll see what they do. A lot of people suspect that they're going to just do online only, and that will be that. But why would they know, first of all, the most important thing were the workers who lost their jobs. That's first and foremost. The second most important thing was people, first of all, like to touch and feel their fabrics. And then secondly, people who crochet and knit like to touch and feel the yarn. Unless we already know about the yarn, if it's something new, or something, that we haven't seen before, we want to feel it to know what the texture is going to be, because we know that yarns are not created equal. So therefore, why would they decide to just do online only unless they're going to stick to just the most popular that they knew was the top sellers? That's a possibility. This is my prediction. Okay, now we know that Hirschner's bought the Big Twist patent or whatever. They bought the brand. So you can order online at Hirschner's. I've never researched Hirschner's, so I'm speaking off the top of my bird brain about this. I don't know if Hirschner's have brick and mortar stores. I don't know if Hirschner's is online only. But let's say that let's say that they are online only and they decide to go brick and mortar. Or let's say they do have brick and mortar stores that I just personally don't know about. You guys tell me if you know that there's any Hirschner stores out there. This would be the perfect, the most prime opportunity for them to rent some spaces and open up a brick and mortar. They have the Big Twist brand on lockdown, and they might get other things on lockdown from the liquidators. Patents and whatnot. Since they did the Big Twist, this would be the prime time for them to take over the whole Joann entity and open up some brick and mortars in every state, and I believe that people will shop it. I would. So I've never shopped them before, but oh yes, I would be happy to see something new come into the game. Then I heard on that one video that I tagged, that I put the link to, I listened to as much as I could because she was just dragging out her whole little spiel, okay? But I was listening to her when she said that Michaels had recently been either sold or something. And so that's why they're revamping, but I didn't get through the full story, so I'll leave it at that. But I'm pleased with what I'm seeing thus far there at Michaels. If they bring that yarn in, they've got me. So if Joann's were to reopen under the Joann name, they would have to earn my trust back. Believe me, they would have to offer something that I just can't refuse, because Michaels have pretty much won me over. Right now, I am getting some savings out of this world, okay? So let's end it here because I've been on here long enough. So I'm getting ready to get in the house. I haven't eaten today. So I'm going to get in the house, eat, and relax for the rest of the day and work on my cousin's Afghan. So I will talk to you guys later, and may God bless you all. Oh, and welcome new subscribers. Hey, I have shot up to 600 subscribers, and it's still growing, I guess, because I keep hashtagging Joanns and liquidation store or whatever. But people are subscribing. People aren't just watching. Although my viewership, you know, I'm getting like over 1,000 views on every Joann video, and I think I've gotten almost 1,000 views on the first Michael's video and everything. So the point is, I'm getting the views, but everybody's not subscribing. But for those of you who have, thank you for subscribing. I hope that you enjoy my crazy channel, because that's just what it is, y'all. Everybody can tell you either love me or you hate me. But anyway, so I'm gonna get off of here. Welcome again to the new subscribers, and say hello, shout me out. I'll shout you out and all that stuff. I try to answer every response, even if it's just with a heart or a smile. But I'm here, and I'm interactive or whatever. So I will talk to you guys later, once again for the 55th time, and may God bless you all. Bye-bye.